Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a 5-star selector for Wuthering Waves, which is actually pretty damn awesome. And if you take a look at all 5 of these characters, they're all going to have their strengths and weaknesses. They're all going to have different types of damage. Some characters are going to be support, some characters are going to be damage dealers. So depending on where you're at in the game, and obviously depending on the character that you prefer aesthetically or damage-wise, or the type of damage that you need, really depends on what you're really going to have. The first thing I want to make transparent to all of you guys is, no matter which one of these characters you pick, it's all good. Pick your favorite character and have fun with them, because games are all about having fun. If you always go for meta characters and you always go for the one that you absolutely have to have, or the one that everybody always recommends, sometimes you might be a little disappointed, even though they might be a really good character. So having said that, we're going to start with Encore. Now, Encore is a character that I actually got to play with on the beta version of the game, and she is very strong. She is actually quite powerful character. She does feel a little clunky sometimes with her skills, but her damage is very, very good, and she's a fusion character. You can actually team her up with other fusion characters, have a nice little fusion team, because in this game I do believe eventually having elemental teams is going to be quite beneficial. So she's very, very strong, guys. If you're looking for a damage dealer, Encore may not look it, but she's actually quite powerful. She's actually very, very potent. And then we get into Jianxin. Now this is the character that I chose. Now I personally chose her because, well, I think she's a beautiful character. I think she's absolute waifu. So I just went for her. And the beautiful thing about this character is that she does offer a shield. She offers extra damage, which is awesome, guys, especially after she does her ultimate. She can make your other characters tankier on top of giving those heals, giving the extra survivability. It's not going to be as good as, her support is going to be as good as other characters, but she's really kind of a character that's just a jack of all trades. She has decent damage. She has good CC with her ultimate. And again, she provides a shield and a heal, which is very, very nice for extra support. So she might be, the kind of character that you want, if you're looking for a little extra support, if you're looking for a little extra survivability, but yet you want that waifu status that she is, because I'm pretty sure a lot of players, they're not going to look at this other support character and think waifu status. But then we get into Lingyang. Now, Lingyang is another character that I played with on the beta version of the game. He was actually fairly strong, not the strongest. Encore is stronger than him, or at least she was in the beta version of the game. But he was actually quite strong. The thing that you're going to find with Lingyang is that, he is kind of a damage dealer, but he's kind of clunky to play with. He's in the air a lot of times, guys, and sometimes, depending on the opponents that you're facing, he can miss. He can miss a lot of attacks, and really, no matter how much damage you have, if you're missing attacks, kind of a bummer. Now, you might like his playstyle where he kind of floats around, dashes all over the place, which, I think some people will like. He really does capture the essence of the culture that he's supposed to represent. It's just that, I don't know, I personally don't really like his playstyle personally, but maybe for some of you guys, maybe you would like him, maybe you like this character, maybe you think he looks really, really cool. And then we get into Verina, who's probably going to be the most recommended character of all 5 of these. And the reason being, guys, is because she is a ridiculous support. She increases all damage, she gives an insane heal, and she's extremely good for quick gameplay. She's a character that you bring in, you get and then you take her out, and you're going to get your heals, you're going to get all that extra damage. She really is OP for pretty much any team because she increases all type damage, right? So no matter what team you put her on, she's going to be an insane support. She's going to be a very good buff for your team. So a lot of people recommend her. In fact, I actually considered picking up Verina as well, but because I'm really more about waifu than I am about, meta per se, I just went with Jianxin. And then we get into Calcharo. Now this character I actually have on this account, and I got to say, I'm loving the death out of him, guys. He is very, very strong as far as damage. If you need a lightning character or electro character, as they call him in this game, for damage, and he is going to be an insane character to have with Yinlin later in the future. So if that girl is a character that you're pulling for and you want to have a really good team member to put on that team with her, Calcharo is your man. He is godly, guys. He's super, super strong. You will find that some of his animations do take a little bit of time. Sometimes he does this giant plunge attack, and he can do a lot of damage with it, but he can take a lot of damage at times, right? So that's kind of the thing, and it's really the thing in Wuthering Waves. It's always about skill, dodging properly, so that way you don't take a lot of damage. And if you can play Calcharo properly, he's actually very, very good, very, very strong, especially if you can land his combos. But most of his damage really comes after he does his ultimate, right? So you really need to set up a team where you have his ultimate building up quite often, and he can do that thing, so he can do a whole bunch of damage. But when it comes to like who's the best, obviously, guys, I do believe that Verina for most players is going to be the best character. I do think she is going to be the best character, and I do think that when it comes to damage dealers, you could either go with Calcharo or Encore, really depending on what you need, whether you want fusion or electro, or whether you just like the aesthetics of either one of these characters, whichever you may prefer. And then, unfortunately, the last two is going to be, Lingyang and Jianxin. Now, I do put Jianxin above Lingyang or Lingyang, sorry, above him because she actually can do a lot for you. She can add survivability to your team. She can actually give you a heal as well as a shield. And she does decent damage on her own. It's not terrific damage, but it's decent damage. And since I do have her, I will be trying to level her up. I don't really know how powerful she exactly is. This is my first time actually playing with her, but I'll let you guys know. I'll give you guys some feedback on her, but I do love her. Her skills can be a little clunky at times. And then I would actually have to put, Lingyang last. I'm only putting this guy last because, he is a damage dealer, and I don't think his utility is quite as high as like these other characters, at least in my opinion. And he is, again, guys, he just kind of gets in the air and he kind of misses his attacks at times. So sometimes you can get a little lost when you're playing with him. You could have all the damage in the world, but if you're missing your attacks, you're not really doing a lot of damage. So that's kind of the route that I would go with. But again, guys, you should pick your favorite characters. Don't go for the metas unless you absolutely want to, if that's your thing. But just go for your favorite character. If this is your favorite character, if you love Encore, that's who you should go for. Again, this is the girl that I went for. She's absolutely beautiful. Just love her to death. So I queued her up, right? But I mean, if you like old Dragon Boy, here's what I'm going to call him, right? Or you want to go Verina, who again is just a godly sport with the heal and the damage buff, or you want to go with Calcharo, just having lots of ridiculous damage and looking like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, right? I mean, he just looks freaking insane. It's really up to you guys who you want to pick, but let me know who you guys decide to go for your 5-star selector, or are you saving your 5-star selector for the future? And I stream on Twitch and YouTube. The link to Twitch in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.